In a strong show of unity, 7 political parties have accused the All Progressives Congress of attempting to stifle opposition voices in the country. The parties, under the aegis of the Coalition of Concerned Political Parties, expressed concerns over recent actions taken by the APC, emphasizing the importance of a vibrant and inclusive political environment where all parties can actively participate in shaping the nation's future and strengthening democracy. The opposition parties called on the APC to revisit its agenda and refocus its efforts on addressing the pressing challenges faced by Nigerians and prioritizing issues such as unemployment, insecurity, healthcare, education, and infrastructural development.
We are worried about the level of instability the country is going through. If you look at the example of recent development in Zamfara states, recent development in Nasarawa states, recent development in Kano states, recent development in Plateau states, and there are all states that are upcoming. These are very fundamental issues that concern us as parties, as stakeholders that participated in this election, that have been every nook and cranny of Nigeria, and we are working all of us together.
We signed in for multi-party democracy. Let's respect this. It's very important, and it's worrying for any true Democrat and the patriot. It will concern them, and that's what we have decided to cry out about.
I think the agenda of this government should be revisited for the good of Nigerians. I feel that it is a good move, and my party, the People's Democratic Party, is aligning with it, and we will do all possible, all we could, to support this agenda.
Kogi State Police Command has confirmed that gunmen attacked the Secretary of the State Governorship Election Tribunal, David Umar Mike, in Lokoja, that's the state capital. The police authorities said the attackers of the State Governorship Tribunal Secretary carted away all the petition documents filed by 5 political parties at gunpoint. According to the police, the documents carted away from Mike include petitions filed by 4 parties, Action Alliance, AA, Action People's Party, APP, People's Redemption Party, PRP, and Social Democratic Party, the SDP, as well as 2 record books, a bag containing his personal items. Meanwhile, the president of the Court of Appeal has relocated the Kogi Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal from Lokoja to Abuja. A statement by the secretary of the tribunal, David Umar Mike, says its sittings will now be at the National Judicial Institute complex here in Abuja. Joining us now is the national chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Shehu Gabam. Thank you for coming to Newsnight.
Great pleasure, thank you.
After the governorship election in Kogi State, one would expect the citizens were waiting that the transition programs would kickstart, and then the winner would begin to carry every other person along, and then governance would eventually begin. But what do we hear about attacks here and there and attacks at gunpoint, and make us understand what's going on in your state?
Well, I don't know if it is my state, but you know, this process has been on for a very long time, even before the election. We have drawn the attention of the government of Nigeria about the potential crisis, anarchy in Kogi State, even before the election. We have written comprehensive report and letters to the entire service chief, to the president and commander-in-chief. We predicted these possibilities of creating a very terrible environment, which took place. And of course, after the election, or on the day of the election, one of the INEC sensitive materials was leaked, to which we raised that observation very strongly, and INEC acted on some of them. The entire central of Kogi resort sheet was compromised. We raised a petition to INEC to cancel those 3 local governments that were affected. They promised to work on it. They end up cancelling 1 local government, 9 ward out of the 10, and few polling units in Okene, Okehi, and Adabi. And of course, the results were uploaded, despite INEC have cancelled some of the polling units. They still uploaded those results, which we protested against. Be that as it may, they went ahead and declared the winner. As law-abiding citizens, we agreed to challenge it through the justice system. We did not lose hope on the justice system. And we prepared all documents, all requirements of CTC from INEC. I must confess that INEC cooperated with maximum speed. We got almost all the documents except one, the inspection of the beaver system by forensic expert in Kogi State. And I think that what led to the situation that you're talking about. Right. The forensic experts were in Kogi, and INEC agreed with the parties to inspect the beaver system. That couldn't hold. The place was engulfed with crisis. Thugs invaded the INEC center in Kogi, tried to burn it down. The police couldn't rescue it. Army have to move in and take over the INEC office in Kogi State.
Right. If I may come in here.
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, back to the main issue. You have cried out, along with other parties. We've called a coalition of concerned political parties, CCPP. You're saying, you're accusing the APC of suppressing opposition voices. In what way, really?
I don't know if
governing APC doing that.
I don't know if we really say suppressing. We raised 7 fundamental issues which you have enumerated right here. And it is the concern of everybody, including you that is sitting here. The country needs to be safe. Part of what the president has presented to the National Assembly regarding his budget, one of the things he mentioned is about conducive environment, for both domestic and international investors to come in, which means there's a confidence crisis within the system. There's a security that needs to be restored, political environment that needs to be restored, and of course, a very comprehensive reconciliatory and diplomatic processes that need to be established. Now, the accusations are not personal to us as a party, but it's something that have engraved the entire nation. For instance, we talk about the national security of the country, which make everything at stake. 2, we talk about the subsidy removal. We questioned the value added after removing the subsidy. We couldn't find one. What are the tangibles? What are the visible facts that have added value after removing the subsidy? We talk about the so-called palliative, whether it have added any value to Nigerians. We couldn't find one. And we also talk about the attempt to suffocate the political space. I think that part of the thing you're talking about. Well, it encompasses the entire process, including the judicial process. For instance, some of the cases that the judiciary have dealt with at the tribunal level, in which the Court of Appeal have repelled some of them, and some of the higher-ranking lawyers like Olani Pekun have said that there is no judge in our law that have the authority to take away the vote of a voter, because the Constitution protected Nigerians based on the right of franchise to cast their vote, and their vote to be protected. The court can sanction the institution, INEC, for not doing the right thing, but not to take away the vote of citizens for whatever reasons. So those are fundamental flaws that we felt that there's possibility of executive influence or political influence surrounding some of this judgment. We are hoping that the Supreme Court will restore the dignity and the decency of the judiciary. We still have hope in the judiciary. There are landmark judgments that they have done. But if you listen to some of the valedictory sessions of some of the retired judges, it's quite alarming that we are going through this as a nation. We are not learning.
But how do you plan as opposition to push back on what you refer to as suppression? Because it does seem, from all indication, that many political parties go into elections, just bearing in mind that they want to win, not preparing for, providing strong opposition. Would you form a formidable opposition so that you can counter, some of the policies you believe this government is not doing right by? Or how exactly do you plan to oppose this government's wrong policies?
Well, we are not retrogressive. We are progressive by nature. And what we believe strongly is that what we are doing will, if the government is very civilized, is very active, they will use our contribution positively to enhance the efficiency and efficacy of the country.
Okay, so are you now planning to merge? Is the SDP planning to merge with other political parties to form an alliance against what you consider the plan of the APC to make Nigeria a one-party system?
There was no major discussion whatsoever in our own conversation. What worries us is the safety of the country, the viability of the country, conducive environment for every Nigerian, creating jobs for citizens. That is our first concern. Because if the country is not viable, you can't talk of a merger, you can't talk of participation in the democracy. The democracy is under trial. The fragility of the system is what really concerns us. Maybe in the future, we'll discuss about the possibility of a merger, but for now it's not our priority.
So in future, there is that possibility. You're looking at having that as an option in future.
Nothing is impossible so long as pre-election issues and interests are holistically being discussed, consolidated. It's very possible. It's not as if it has not happened before. It's a possibility, but the environment needs to be created. Trust needs to be established. Confidence needs to be established. Well, because what really prevents some of these mergers, betrayals and treachery along the line. So once these facts will be established with sincerity of purpose, believing that the country should move on, everybody will make the sacrifice. Maybe
you will have to create that environment for it to happen. But I'd like to get your opinion very quickly, because your party, the SDP, the Social Democratic Party, seems to be affected by the missing documents, the attack. The police command in Kogi actually confirmed that gunmen attacked the Secretary of the State Governorship Election Tribunal, David Mike. You were affected by the missing documents. What are your thoughts?
No, we are not affected.
That? Okay, well, because the SDP is listed here.
The reason why I say we are not affected, we have complied with the law.
Okay.
We have generated the remittance, we have paid, we have filed our case. So even when they were making noise that we have not filed, we are just watching them because we know they have laid an ambush. But we beat their plan. We filed before they got to know that we have filed, and that's the reason why they raised some of these doors, because they wanted to prevent us from going to Kogi to file our cases. So as far as we are concerned, we have complied with the law. We have filed, the summons were submitted, we have acknowledgement copy. It's for the court now to find out what happened, or the court to order the parties to resubmit their copies. I think the process is simple, they are not complicated.
Okay, great. We'll have to say thank you very much. Shehu Gabam is National Chairman, the Social Democratic Party, that's the SDP. Thank you so much for joining us.
My great pleasure. Thank you so much.